Welcome to Week 3, Day 1 of our e-learning lessons. Our performance task for the week. The learner would need to be able to explain specific points within the text. Also, the learner will need to be able to explain each specific point with reason and evidence from the text. Finally, the learner will need to be able to discuss each point with knowledge. Our focus words for the week: reward, symbol, foster, confess, performs, service, sniff, children, blind, practice, graduate, disobey, confidence, patiently, ceremony. Our Day 1 essential questions. How can I read an informational text and put it in the correct order? How can I go back in the text to find what I'm looking for? We will be watching 2 short video clips this morning. Day 1 video, how to introduce students with sequence. Please make sure we take time to follow along as we're looking at the short video clip.
On the internet. Hi everyone, I'm Eddie Dixon, and today on the internet it's all about wolves. Check out these posts. Baba17 posted this status.
Hey, is there a wolf near the village? I thought I heard someone calling.
Just a few minutes later, big old Gustav writes, "No wolf, just a bad joke." Finally, we saw this from Jody B68.
I hear him calling wolf again, but I'm staying put.
Confused? Don't be. Turns out one of the boys was playing a joke on the villagers, and we've got all the major events. First, the boy calls wolf, and the villagers come running.
Hey, is there a wolf near the village? I thought I heard someone calling.
Then, the villagers discover it is a joke. No wolf, just a bad joke. Next, the boy plays the same joke on the villagers again. Finally, a wolf does show up, and the boy calls out to the village for help.
I hear him calling wolf again, but I'm staying put.
Looks like that's one boy who learned his lesson the hard way. That was one confusing story, but thanks to keywords like first, then, next, and finally, we know exactly what happened in the beginning, middle, and end of the story. I'm Eddie Dixon, and that's the topic that's trending today on the internet.
Our second video we're going to watch is talking about incredible service dogs. Our reading that we're going to focus on this week is called The Right Dog for the Job, and this is a great introduction to what service dogs are able to do and how they can actually help others. In our assignments this morning, we're going to start off by looking at putting some things in order as a group. Then after we put them in order, then we're going to go back and reread a story. And then once we get done with the story, there's going to be some work that you need to do on your own. And that work is going to be putting events in order based on a certain page you're going to be focusing on. By looking at the very first part of our assignment, you have 4 boxes and 4 sentences. Your assignment is to put them in order as they happen. The first one is called Kay Goes Fishing. I want you to look at the 4 boxes, and I want you to decide which one will go first, second, third, and fourth based on the orders they happen. Kay goes fishing. "I've got a fish," Kay yelled. Dad started the engine and drove the boat to the other side of the lake. Dad prepared the fishing pole, dropped the line in the water, and handed it to Kay. Kay and her dad climbed into the small boat. I want you to think which one could possibly be the first event, second event, third event, and finally the fourth event, to put the events in order as they happen. Now would be a great time to pause the video, and when you're done, you may press play to check your answers. If you're looking at the events for Kay Goes Fishing, her and her dad climbed into the small boat. Then they started the engine. Then Dad prepared the fishing poles and dropped the line in the water and handed it to Kay. And finally, "I've got a fish," Kay yelled. Number 2, Mike and Tom play catch. Tom caught the ball and threw it back to Mike. Mike reached up in the air for the ball but missed. Mike pulled a baseball out of his jacket pocket and tossed it to Tom. The ball landed on the driveway and rolled toward the street. Now would be a great time to press pause, and when you're finished putting them in order, you may press play to check your answers. If you put them in this order, number 1 or first, Mike pulled a baseball out of his jacket pocket and tossed it to Tom. Tom caught the ball and threw it back to Mike. Then, Mike reached up in the air for the ball but missed. Finally, the ball landed on the driveway and rolled toward the street. Your third practice today. Fran and the basketball. She found a basketball in the garage and started dribbling it. Fran went outside on a bright and sunny day. She dribbled it down the driveway, turned toward the net, and threw the ball into the air. Fran jumped excitedly as the ball went through the hoop. Try to go ahead and put them in order based on number 1, 2, 3, and 4. You may go ahead and press pause, and when you finish, you may press play to check your answers. If you said first, Fran went outside on a bright and sunny day. Next, she found a basketball in the garage and started dribbling it. Then, she dribbled down the driveway, turned toward the net, and threw the ball into the air. Finally, Fran jumped excitedly as the ball went through the hoop. The next part of the assignment is still continuing with putting things in order, but this time we're going to be looking at the beginning or the end. We're going to do the first 7 together, and I'm going to ask you to do number 8 through 15 on your own as a graded part. Number 1, you have to either put a B for it would happen at the beginning of a story, or you need to put E, it would happen at the end of a story. So in the very first part, once upon a time, there's a magical spider. Based on once upon a time, it would be something in the beginning, so we'll put B. Finally, we all went home to rest after our exciting adventure. Just like what we were working on, you heard me saying finally for the last part. So the last part would mean the ending. Number 3. It seemed like there was nothing we could do to solve the problem. To me, that sounds like something at the end because the story has already went through all the ways of trying to solve problems, and now there's nothing else for them to do. Let me tell you about my babysitter. It sounds like we're at the beginning of a story because it's getting ready to give me a lot of information about the babysitter. Yesterday, I saw a big yellow bird on the beach. If I'm hearing this part, I got a feeling it's going to tell me more about this big yellow bird, why they're at the beach, what was happening at the beach. I got a feeling a lot more is going to be coming after. So it sounds like something at the beginning. Number 6, have you heard about my funny dog, Muffy? Well, we haven't. So I got a feeling they're going to give us a lot of information about it. So it must be at the beginning, and they're going to tell a lot more. Number 7, they all lived happily ever after. We know this sounds like something at the end of a fairy tale, so that would be our ending. Your assignment is going to be due number 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 on your own. Once you finish those, then you're going to work on a flow chart that you're going to complete after your reading today of your text. So make sure you take time to read numbers 8 through 15 and decide, do you think it would happen at the beginning or the end of a text? So these are your first 7 parts of your grades for today on day 1. Your next part of your assignment is going to be a flow chart that you're going to be responsible for completing. Your text is found within your PowerPoint. If you go to your PowerPoint, you'll see The Right Dog for the Job, Ira's Path from Service Dog to Guide Dog by Dorothy Henshaw Patent, photographs by William Munoz. Ira was born on Shy Bear Farm in Montana, along with her sister Ivy and his brother Ike. Like all newborn puppies, the 3 golden retrievers have closed eyes, velvety ears, and very soft fur. But unlike most puppies, these 3 were born for a special purpose. By the time they are 2 years old, each is expected to become a service dog, helping a person who has difficulty moving around on his or her own to lead for a fuller life. Ira, Ivy, and Ike are part of Paul Zabilities, Canine Partners for People with Disabilities. Bray, the puppy's mother, and Kathleen Decker, Paul's Abilities foster puppy coordinators, take good care of the puppies. They grow bigger and stronger. Their eyes and ears open so they can take in the world around them. Soon, they are romping and playing together, getting bolder each day. Kathleen begins to feed them puppy food when they are 4 weeks old. By the age of 6 weeks, they are no longer need their mother's milk. Soon, it will be time to leave home. Before they can help people with disabilities, service dogs need to learn to deal confidently with the world and whatever it might present to them. Loud noises, smelly buses, crowds of people. Each puppy goes to live with a special person called a foster puppy raiser. The puppy becomes a member of the family, where it gets plenty of love, attention, and praise as the puppy raiser introduces it to the world. When they are about 8 weeks old, Ira, Ivy, and Ike meet their puppy raisers. Ira goes home with Sandy Welch, a 6th grade teacher in Lolo, Montana. Sandy already has her own beautiful golden retriever, Laddie Grizz. Laddie and Ira quickly become friends. Kathleen visits Ira and Sandy a month later. She wants to see how Ira is doing and check on his service dog skills. One of the most important tasks a service dog performs is retrieving things such as drop keys. Sandy has already been working on this skill with Ira. So Kathleen throws her keys and tells Ira to fetch them. She runs over, picks them up in her mouth, and brings them back to Kathleen. Good news, Ira is already on his way to becoming a service dog. All along, the puppy raisers meet as a group to learn how to teach the young dogs what they need to know. The puppies have to learn how to come or sit on command and how to walk at heel or on a leash. Kathleen also shows them how to teach the puppies to press a wheelchair access sign with their paw. The symbol appears on buttons that opens doors automatically when pressed. Kathleen uses a plastic lid attached to a stick with a strip of cloth. On the lid, the wheelchair access sign, she puts a dog treat on the deck and covers it with the lid. One by one, the puppies sniff and push the lid with their noses, trying to get the treat. But only when they scratch at it with a foot does Kathleen lift the stick so the puppy is rewarded. Ivy tries to figure out how to get the treat under the plastic lid. In our photograph at the top, our caption, Ira gets off the bus. Next, the group goes to the bus station. The bus company loans Paul's ability of bus and driver. The puppies practice getting on and off over and over again. They ride around town and learn to stay calm on the bus as it stops and starts. By the end of the day, riding the bus has become as natural as a trip in the car. The puppy raisers take the dogs wherever they can, such as sporting events and the farmer's market. Every 2 weeks, the group meets at a different place somewhere in town. At the mall, the puppies learn not to be distracted at the pet store or by crowds of people walking by. They also practice pushing the button with the wheelchair sign to open the door. At the university, they learn how to pull open a door using a tug made of rope tied to the knob. At the library, they learn to lie quietly under the table while the puppy raisers look through books. They also learn how to enter the elevator correctly, walking right beside the puppy raiser instead of going in front or behind. It would be dangerous if the elevator door closed on the leash. Sandy brings Ira to her classroom 2 days a week. She explains to her students the importance of training Ira correctly. Ira needs to learn to lie down by himself and stay there, even if he gets bored, she says. You have to leave him alone, even if he wants to be patted, so he doesn't get distracted from his job. You can also help teach the other children not to pet a service dog in training. Ira has his own corner of the room, where he must lie quietly on the rug. If he gets up and wanders around, Sandy says in a firm voice, "Rug." Then she tells Ira to sit, lie down, or stay. He must also learn to always stay close to the person he is helping. When Sandy and the students work with Ira, they form a circle and bring Ira into the center. Then one of the children calls him. He knows he'll get a treat if he lays his head in the children's lap. The children take turns calling him, helping him learn to come reliably every time he is called. Then they help teach him to use his nose to push a light switch, another important job for a service dog to learn. In the photograph down below, Ira learns to come when he is called. The photograph at the top of the next page, we see that we have Ira at the top, and it says, it takes a lot of practice for Ira to learn to flip a light switch with his nose instead of his mouth. In the text, Ira goes all over the school, so he gets used to noisy places like the cafeteria and the gym during pep rallies. Sandy also takes him to other classrooms and tells the other students about service dogs. As summer approaches, Sandy's students must say goodbye to Ira. Each child gets a chance to say what having Ira in the classroom meant to her or him. I feel special because I got to help train Ira, says one. I never liked dogs before Ira came, but now I like having him around, confesses another. Having Ira in the classroom has made me feel beyond wonderful, says a third. To reward the children for their help, Sandy arranges a field trip to Shy Bear Farm. The students take turns making dog toys, working on scrapbooks for Ira's new companion, touring the farm, and playing with the 6-week-old puppies. They also get to say one last goodbye to Ira. As summer starts, it's time for Ira to leave Sandy and go for more detailed service dog training. But his assigned trainer facility isn't ready yet. Glenn Martine, director of Pausability, can't find another service dog group that can use Ira. Everyone worries. What will happen? Can Ira learn a new career? Though they rarely take dogs raised and trained elsewhere, Guide Dogs for the Blind in San Rafael, California steps in. Ira has lots of confidence, which is very important in Guide Dog. So we'll give Ira a chance, says the coordinator, but we'll have to change his name. Each dog we train has a different name, and we already have one called Ira. We'll just change the spelling, I-R-A-H, Ira, so we won't have to learn a new name. Now, Ira needs to learn a whole new set of skills, which takes 4 to 5 months. He has to get used to wearing a guide dog harness. Trainer Stacy Burrow helps him learn many things, such as stopping at street corners and crossing only when the way is clear. The most important thing a guide dog must learn is intelligent disobedience. Knowing when to disobey can enable a guide dog to save its owner's life. For example, if the blind person tells the dog to go forward when a car is running a red light, the dog must refuse to obey. Ira is smart. He passes the program with flying colors. After training, Ira is paired with Don Simonson, a piano tuner who had already retired 2 guide dogs after they got too old to work. Ira and Don worked together for 3 weeks in San Rafael, learning to be a team. Then it's time to graduate. Sandy comes from Montana for the graduation. She gets to see Ira and Don meet Don before the ceremony. Ira and Sandy are delighted to be together again, but Sarah clearly knows his place is now with Don. During the graduation ceremony, Don's name is announced when his turn comes. Sandy hands Ira over to Don. Ira is Don's dog now, and the two will be loving, giving partners. Sandy will miss Ira, but she is happy that he has found a home with someone like Don. At home in Kennewick, Washington, Don and Ira continue to learn to work together. Grayson, Don's retired guide dog, also lives with them. Grayson and Ira become fast friends, playing together just like Ira and Laddie did. We see the photograph of the ceremony, the caption. Stacy, Sandy, and Ira stand by Don as Don speaks at the graduation. The photograph, we see Don, the man who is blind, walking with his guide dog, Ira. In the caption, it says, Joey escorts Don and Ira to the stage for their big moment. When Don goes to work, Ira guides him. Once they enter the room with the piano, Don says, "Ira, find the piano," and Ira leads him to it. Then Don gets to work, and Ira lays down nearby, waiting patiently, as he learned to do in Sandy's classroom. He is there for Don whenever he is needed. "I'm so glad Ira and I found each other," Don says. He's just the right dog for me." Sandy and Don become friends, and as a surprise, Sandy invites Don to the 8th grade graduation of the children who helped train Ira. Don's wife, Robbie, drives their motorhome to Montana for the graduation. After Sandy talks to the audience about Ira and Don, she shows a movie of their graduation from Guide Dogs for the Blind. Then she announces that Don and Ira are in the audience, and Joey, Ira's favorite student, escorts them to the stage. The surprised students are delighted to see the result of their hard work and the hard work of so many others. Their own canine student, Ira, is now a working guide dog. Your assignment today in your work packet, you're going to go back to page 503. You're going to reread page 503, and I need you to put the major events in order as they happen on this page. Your focus is about Ira becoming a service dog. You have 6 boxes that you can type in or write in your answers. I need you to tell me really short and quick, complete sentences. What happened in order on page 503 that was important? All 6 boxes need to be complete. Then your next part of your assignment, you have your focus words. I need you to type the focus words, any 5 words you would like, 3 times each that you think might be a little hard to spell. Once you get done doing that, you may then get ready for the next part of your assignment, which is going to myon. And once you go to myon, you can focus on your guided reading, your independent reading, and your myon reading all combined in one. There are books already assigned for you to read for each day. Please take time to do so. And when you get finished, please make sure you check over your work to make sure it's completed with complete sentences where you're asked to write. Also, your social studies has been posted for you to work on. Make sure you take time to do your social studies. You only have to do the ones with text boxes. Type in your answers into those text boxes. Also, there are some red circles and red lines. You can move into place to circle items or to underline items in your reading when it asks you to do so. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to your teachers, ask us about your assignments, and we'll do our best to help you with them. Thank you for participating in Week 3, Day 1 of our e-learning lessons.